So, just the one question to be answered here tonight. Can Magri avenge the defeat that Torres inflicted on him in this ring in May this year? Nothing else matters as far as Magri's career is concerned. If he can't beat this man tonight fairly decisively, then all world title aspirations must be gone. And Charlie will have to start thinking about looking for some other means of employment, I suspect. It's got to be a good win or else. So the career on the line for Magri, the little flyweight from Stepney, European champion, who's been so close to getting a world title fight for the last 3 years. And then it all blew up in his face. Jose Torres fights out of Tucson in Arizona. Stopped Charlie in 9 rounds just a few months ago in this very ring. Magri made a good start in that fight and couldn't keep it up. Strangely enough, the win over Magri is the only win that Torres has had in his last 6 fights.
Stop boxing! Stop boxing!
Holding. Torres, and cautioned about it by Mike Jacobs, the referee. Magri has come here to put this man away quickly. He's gambling everything on a quick win. Good right. But Torres doesn't go down. And he didn't go down last time either. There's some damage on the Mexican's face around the left eye. And Magri's right hand has put some sign of damage there. And this fight has opened up at a pace they can't possibly hope to continue if they're going to go the full 10 rounds. Not even for flyweights. Torres, the Mexican from Arizona, goes back to the corner with a quite noticeable swelling underneath the left eye. Just look at that bump. And that was very obviously raised by that cracking right hand. And here we are, we can see again that brilliant right hand of Magri's, which might have put some flyweights down, but all it did was raise a bump over the under the man's eye. Now the war continues, and war it's certainly been for the first 3 minutes. Magri of Britain, the European champion. Torres, Jose Pulga Torres, Pulga the Flea, he's known as, in the States. Charlie did well for 5-6 rounds last time. Got his man over, didn't do that last time. Straight left, I think. Just one left jab, put the man on the seat of his pants. But Torres doesn't look hurt, more surprised. Round 2. And I was saying that Charlie made a very good start for 5 or 6 rounds last time and then seemed to run out of steam completely. But now he's had the man over. And Torres is coming back with some useful punches of his own. Fighting for his professional life. The Mexican's face set grimly. put on the seat of his pants. But he's come up to fight back. And Magri stares him in the eyes at the end of that round. As much as to say, I had you over. Next time I'll keep you there. Just one straight left. So all hopes that it might be a very quick win for Magri have gone. Fourth round. This could prove to be a real old test of stamina in the end. One has to remember that in Torres' 27 pro fights, he's been beaten 6 times, but only one man has ever stopped him. And that was the American Richard Sandoval, who stopped him in 1 round in Las Vegas almost exactly a year ago. He looks so much bigger than Magri, and yet, in fact, he's 2 pounds lighter. 7-12.5 Torres go. And Magri, half a pound over the 8-stone limit. And Torres fights his way out of a nasty corner situation there. And you do really get the sense, sitting ringside, that Magri is absolutely desperate to win this quickly. And heaven knows what might happen if he doesn't. Head. Now, Mike Jacobs is going to have a word with the pair of them about the heads. Torres complaining. And Charlie just wants to get on with it. 4th round of an out-and-out battle. These little men. Magri seems to have thrown all his boxing caution to the winds here tonight. Nothing matters except try to rain punches on this Mexican's head and body. Unbelievably fierce. Yourself what this crowd thinks about this fight. It really is a battle. And here are 2 little men who are putting it all on the line. And they both know exactly what's at stake. The heads getting uncomfortably close together. Torres gets the warning this time. 5th round. Scheduled for 10. Unlikely to get that far the way they're going. Magri returning again and again to the attack. Slashing and hooking with 2 hands. The harder he fights, the harder Torres fights back. They've been at it so hard now for 5 rounds. The work's getting, not surprisingly, a bit ragged. Not too many good clean punches going in now, but an awful lot of effort still being used. 5 rounds gone. Magri well on top, just as he was in the previous fight with Torres. It was at this point in the last fight that he began to fade. So we enter the 2nd half of the scheduled 10-rounder. Savage and wild fight. Torres beginning to force his man back. Mexican pushing his man off with the elbow. And Torres, seeing perhaps the pattern of this fight going the same way as their first encounter, coming strongly. Now then, can Magri hold on under the attacks? Charlie holding. Torres' head in his face again. Good right from the Mexican. Hard round for Magri, but he's come back into it at the end of the 3 minutes, and he goes back to the corner looking pretty fit and determined.
Take it out. Round 8.
Well, Magri, comfortable out in front on the early rounds, just has to stick in there now somehow and do enough to keep in there and keep going. Magri finding it harder and harder to stay there with him and to do something useful himself. And these looping punches continue to come at him from both sides. Gaunt face of the Mexican, set in determination. And Magri gives ground and gets caught over and over again in the 8th. And Magri seems to be becoming progressively weaker. And it's all too reminiscent of their first fight. And that's a pretty weary-looking Charlie Magri at the end of the 8th. 2 to go. Can he hold on?
Take it out. Round 9.
The 9th. And this is the round in which Magri was beaten by Torres last time in May of this year. The right hands began to rain on him. He was down twice and he was stopped. Surely that fate can't befall him again. Again, the caution to keep them up to Torres as we come towards the end of the 9th. And Magri's going to make it through the 9th this time. The awful nightmare is not to be repeated. And they shake hands almost at the end as though they thought it might be the 10th. But it isn't, it's only the 9th. And there are still 3 minutes left. The 10th and final round. Everything in Magri's life now hangs on these 3 minutes. I would think it might be quite close. Magri built a good lead in the early stages, but he's given a lot of it back. It could be very, very close indeed. And Magri very badly needs a good last round. But Torres still looks strong. Come what may, it's a much better performance by Magri this time than last time against the same man. Very much better. And Torres scores again in this round, as he's done for the last two. And this most certainly is the most important round of Magri's professional fighting life. The whole future of Magri hangs on these closing seconds. Torres is the one with the strength, and Magri the one with the determination to hang in there somehow and get through 10 rounds. Tremendous battle. And Mike Jacobs, the referee, is going to have to produce the decision that will make or mar Magri's life. Seconds to go. The pair of them battle it out to the final bell. That was some fight, and that was some win for Charlie Magri. Revenge, and people stand to applaud him. He made his point, but my word, it was hard going. And Magri takes a well-deserved reception here from everyone in Wembley for the sheer guts of that performance. Charlie, you've got enough breath left to talk to me?
Yeah, I've got plenty of breath. It's just that I think it was the fault of him beating me last time. Getting in there was a bit of a... It was an hard job. He had a bit of experience. He fancied his chance of doing it again. And I was a little bit frightened of him. But I know I could beat him, sort of thing, you know. I think... you know, if I fight someone else, I'll be better.
You've picked up one or two souvenirs, a little bit round the left eye.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit of a lip...
That's the fight game. If you go 10 rounds, you're bound to get caught once.
But these Mexicans, they're all so tough.
Oh, they're tough. They're very tough, yeah. You know, you learn the boxing game with them, you know. And I've boxed enough of them to sort of go through the motions again.
You see, it must have been a little bit of a nightmare for you, this fight, because you must have remembered what happened last time. And the last few rounds of this one were tough, weren't they?
I was trying to forget about him, you know, and every time I looked at him, I remembered the last fight, and it was very hard to sort of get him off my mind. You know, you weigh up, you're fighting a fella that knocks you out. You've got to be worried. And I knew I could beat him, sort of thing, but the fella was really, really confident. He's unbelievably confident, and he, you know, frightened the life out of me sometimes.
You put him down early on with just a good left.
Oh, it was a good left. Terry told me to use the left. I didn't use it enough, really. But as I say, I was too busy trying to cover up, watching, and I wasn't doing enough work.
Now, just a minute, we've got Terry Lawley. Can you just move in, Terry? Now, tell us what you think. What are the chances, really, of Charlie getting a world title fight after this?
Well, last year has already said that he'll come here.
That's the WBA champion.
And Mickey Duff has an option on the WBC champion. So I would think we must have a hell of a chance.
One or the other. It might be either Lassie or Mercedes.
Yeah.
And that could be in March here, could it?
Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully.
Well, the score, by the way, showed that Magri had scraped through by the barest margin possible, just half a point. That's one round. And in the midst of celebration, the professional onlookers were still asking, does Charlie really have the stamina to go 15 hard rounds against a world champion? Professional.